Three, two, one. Welcome to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats, everybody. On today's episode, I have a very talented guest with an impressive resume. I'll go over it real quick with you. He is an American commercial hip-hop and jazz funk teacher and choreographer. He has worked with many artists and iconic brands such as the Michael Jackson Estate, Britney Spears, Disney, America's Got Talent presents Superstars Live, the NFL Pro Bowl, Vegas Raiders, the Killers, many other ventures. It's a long list, trust me. He's also traveled the world with Michael Jackson's Immortal World Tour by Cirque du Soleil, performed in NJ1 by Cirque du Soleil, and is currently dancing for New Kids on the Block Las Vegas residency. He has also served as an artistic casting advisor in Cirque du Soleil. You're about to learn a lot more from him right now through his own words. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jawkeen Howard. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, man.
You excited?
Happy to be here, yeah.
Good, man. I'm excited, too. This is going to be fun. So, yeah, as I explained before we started rolling, I have a Q&A format. I break them down by category because I'm weird like that. So we'll just jump right into it, man. We'll do the icebreakers with your background and personal journey.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Cool. So we'll start at the beginning, man. What sparked your passion for dance, and how did hip-hop and jazz funk become your core styles?
Oh, man. Just starting off at an early age, I would say about 5. I was about 5 or 6 years old. My grandmother used to teach me, like, partnering in the living room. And I used to watch a lot of Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson music videos, you know. I watched MTV TRL and BET 106 in Park, and that's what sparked it. You know, Michael Jackson was a big influence for me, and also my grandmother as
For
well.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, I love Michael Jackson, man. Love him.
Who doesn't, man? Let's go.
Cool. Can you take us through your first big break in the commercial dance world?
Oh, wow. First big break. Sheesh. I was about in my early 20s, actually. I booked my first award show with Kanye West. It was when he performed Jesus Walks.
Okay.
It was for the World Music Awards in Las Vegas. That was like my first big break as a commercial dancer. Yeah.
Okay.
That was, I can't even remember. That was probably like early 2000s. I would say like early 2000s, early. Yeah.
Sounds right. Jesus Walks.
Yeah, Jesus Walks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty gnarly. I like that.
Thanks, man.
All right. So our next category would be industry experience and celebrity work. Excuse me. So you've worked with some big names in the industry. Can you share a memorable moment or lesson you learned working with any of the celebrities that you've previously worked with?
Wow. I would say one of my big time artists that I worked with, I actually got a chance to do some assistant choreography for. It was for Britney Spears. It was for the Femme Fatale tour. It was one of my mentors. Her name was Luam from New York. She brought me in to assist her with some choreography for Britney Spears' Femme Fatale like world tour. That was like a huge break for me as a creator as well. And that experience was pretty gnarly. You know, it was around the time where, you know, we couldn't have our cell phones in the same room as Britney Spears. Everything was like, you know, top secret, and we had to sign NDAs. So that experience was pretty rad. And for the most part, I really enjoyed that, working with, you know, Britney Spears and Wom and the team, and it was awesome. The show came out really well.
That's sweet, man. That's iconic, man.
Oh,
Britney
yeah,
Spears.
for sure. who gets to say they work with Britney Spears?
Right,
you know?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And then some of the stories you told me before we started rolling too, man. I'm impressed, man. This is awesome.
Thanks, man.
Cool. So what's the biggest misconception people have about dancing in the commercial world?
Oh, man. It's a hard one. It's a hard one because now we have social media and TikTok. You know,
we're gonna get to
TikTok. You know, so a lot of it is like what is real and what is fake. You know, when it comes to TikTok movement to the commercial world, it's like now they're starting to try to merge the two, and you have the dancers that have put in the work, put in the time and the hustle to get the likes and get the views, and then you have the ones that do it as a hobby and just come up with like steps in their garage or their living room, and they're getting like the praise and they're getting the fame. So it's one of those things. It's like, who knows what's real and what's fake, but we all know the truth, And so social media has definitely taken over the dance world, and it's helping a lot of like up and coming artists as well. These dancers are choreographing to like their songs on a TikTok, and then it's blowing up the streams, for an artist. So it's one of those, you just got to go with the times, I would say.
Stay innovative.
For sure.
Okay. All right. How do you approach choreography when you're working with artists who may not be trained dancers?
Ooh, come on with these questions. Repeat that one more time for me. One more.
Yeah, for sure. No problem. So how do you approach choreography when you're working with artists who may not be trained dancers?
A lot of that comes with knowing the artist. You know what I mean? It's like, what the job is, what you're getting yourself into. So if it is an artist that is not trained, you got to come up with ways to make them look good and also feel good. And that could be maybe visuals with dancers around them, or maybe it's their favorite step that they love to do, and then you just like add your sauce to it and make it look good but also feel good for them, you know, because not everyone is a trained dancer, but we can make you look good.
That's pretty cool.
That's why you call yourself a choreographer, or a movement artist or a movement coach. Is that's our job, is to make them look good.
That's pretty cool. I like that answer. I've never heard of it explained that way before. So that's good insight right there. So next topic, Cirque du Soleil and theatrical performances. Cirque du Soleil is known for its theatrical and physical demands. So how did your background in hip hop and jazz translate into that world?
Oh man. So I started off as just a dancer, like in my living room and having friends over and teaching them steps in my garage. So I didn't really go to a school to learn the proper technique for those styles. It just came about just me learning off of music videos. My family couldn't afford to put me in a dance school or at a dance studio. So I pretty much just took what I knew and just ran with it, and I learned a lot from like a lot of mentors, like growing up, like Tabitha and Napoleon Dumo, and I joined like a nonprofit organization for hip hop street dance, and so I learned a lot from them, and just did what I had to do with what I had,
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. What was the rehearsal and creative process like at Cirque compared to like commercial gigs and stuff like that?
Man, so for Cirque du Soleil, we train like athletes. It wasn't your typical 2-3 hour rehearsal. Like we like actually put in the work. So maybe we will get called into work maybe at 2 p.m. and still had 2 shows to do, a 7 p.m. show and a 9:30. And I would say it was a lot on the body, but you did get the proper teachers as far as like trainers. I would say we had like strength and conditioning. We had the option for Pilates. We had a PMed department that took care of us. So that process was a good. We would train maybe 3 or 4 days a week and have 2 days of nothing, completely, like 2 days off. And we would do 10 shows a week as well. And then we had active recovery weeks where we would probably train for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then we'll have 2 weeks of no training. So we would just go to work for our normal call time. But it was definitely an experience for me as an artist and as an athlete. Like we trained like we were training for the Olympics.
I'm sure. Yeah. I've been to one show. I don't know which Cirque du Soleil show it was, but holy shit, those performers are crazy.
It's crazy, man. We put our bodies through a lot.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much guys, like, how the repetitions you guys got to go through all the movements,
Oh yeah.
rehearsals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's crazy.
It's a lot.
bro.
It's definitely a lot on your body, but
Yeah.
it's worth the experience.
Yeah.
You know, as an artist that's looking to break into that world, like it's a cool experience. I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah. I'm sure on your end of the perspective too is like as a performer on the stage looking at the audience too, it's like
Oh
an amazing
yeah.
feeling.
Oh
Just,
yeah. Yeah.
all
It's
the
people
hard work.
from all over the world that come and see these shows.
Yeah.
And just to leave it out on the floor, we do it for ourselves, but then we're also doing it for them and have to keep that same exact energy
Every
10
show.
shows a week
Yeah.
because someone new is watching the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't half-ass everything.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. Well, kudos to you for
Thanks,
that.
man.
Any wild or unexpected backstage stories you can share from your Cirque experience?
Backstage stories. Oh man. Um, there's a cool story. In Michael Jackson 1, the guys' dressing room was like a big party. I mean, every day I knew I would go to work and it would be a good time, full of laughter, full of silly, funny things happening backstage. Like we had like this like cool Puerto Rican crew that they were in the show since like creation. They were called 787 Boys crew. And when I tell you they were just so much fun, like full of life, like I would have so much fun with them. It was about maybe 7 or 8 members, and then we had a couple few that weren't, from all over the world. But the stories would just be crazy. We would like be sending like the girls' dressing room, sending them like videos of us like flexing or like doing like just like really cool stuff. And then
Yeah.
the girls are like sending us a video back. So we used to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's always a good time at the show. So
Typical backstage shenanigans.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, boys just being boys, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
All right, cool. All right, we'll jump into your choreography. So when you choreograph, where do you draw inspiration from? Like music, live, visuals, or something else entirely? What do you get at from there?
Man, it just depends on my mood and what I'm creating at the time. But I like to pull inspiration from like classics. Classic like movies, classic directors, classic music, OG music. Like maybe I would say like Michael Jackson music videos from like Smooth Criminal to Janet If, or Sweet Charity with like Bob Fosse and the movie Chicago and Cabaret, and just like kind of like merge the two and make it like a modern day twist with it with a little hip hop.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's why I try to pull inspiration from like new and old school and
Gotcha.
merge the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting. I like some of those shows and movies, by the way. That's pretty tight. So jumping into the category of teaching and mentorship at Tremaine. We'll jump into Tremaine now.
Okay.
How did you land a spot with Tremaine Dance, and what does being on the faculty mean to you?
Man, being a part of the Tremaine legacy is like an honor. Like I am still like pinching myself
Yeah.
to this day that I am a faculty teacher and an educator for the Tremaine legacy. Like it's been such a huge like honor, and it's very life-changing. So last year I was teaching at a intensive in Vegas, and we had age groups from 5 to 25 years old. And one of the executive producers of Tremaine convention, he was there. He's also a talent agent by the name of Terry.
Okay.
Terry and Lisa, and with GTA. They were in Vegas scouting dancers. I was teaching, and then after I had a conversation with them, and they were like, "Hey, you do really well with kids. Like, would you be interested in possibly teaching on a convention?" And I was like, "Oh, 100%." I was like, "I've always wanted to teach on a convention and just give knowledge and share my gift, with the next generation." And they brought me on last summer for the nationals, and at that time I was teaching in Vegas, but then also I was an artistic casting advisor for Cirque du Soleil. So it worked out really well because I needed to scout dancers too, you know. So they brought me on last year at the nationals in Orlando, and I had a chance to scout dancers and then also teach And so the timing it just fell right in my lap. Like, and then they offered me faculty this season, and man, it was life changing. It was crazy the talent that Tremaine has coming through there. I was just like blown away by these kids. I was like, this is where I belong. This is what I want to do. And they welcomed me with like the most like love like that I haven't felt in like a long time. Like, it was just crazy. Like, from the staff to the faculty to the dance studios, the teachers, the parents, like, it was everything I needed, and the timing was like perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now I'm just happy to be a part of, the next, generation,
Sure.
of teachers. And I'm happy that I get to like keep that legacy going. And thank you to all the teachers out there that have like, paved the way for us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so we go to Tremaine almost every year, right? Because my wife and my daughter now doing the conventions and stuff, and like I'm not too familiar with the dance world other than what I see going with my wife and stuff. But just like you can tell that like Tremaine dance is just a whole nother level of like talent and artistry. And yeah, it's like so. Yeah. To see that you're a part of the faculty now is just like I kind of get a sense of like how you feel as a staff member now for such an elite corporation, or I don't know what you call it, talent business. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. That's gnarly.
Yeah, we're celebrating 45 years.
Oh wow.
Next year.
45 years.
45 years.
That's pretty cool. And now you're a part of it.
Now I'm a part of that. Yeah, I was like, what is happening?
That's amazing. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so as a faculty member at Tremaine, what do you think is the most important thing you're trying to pass on to younger dancers now?
Professionalism is key, and respect, and discipline, because we can't teach you, we're giving you the tools, but we can't teach you respect. You got to know that coming in here, you got to know how to discipline yourself and how to prepare for the real world when it comes to the industry. So we're there to give you like the tools is, be on time for class, make sure you're taking care of your body, make sure you're eating properly, make sure you're getting proper rest, because you have to train like you're training, honestly, like they're training for the Olympics. You're an athlete. You're not just a dancer. You're an artist. You're an athlete. And so with these educators that are a part of this legacy, it's like we're just there to pass on all of our knowledge and what we went through as artists and share that with them and give them the tools to prepare for it. It's not going to be easy, it's definitely cutthroat and it's hard, to tap into this industry, but you have the right tools. We're going to give you those tools to get you and prepare you for that, that journey.
Gotcha.
Ahead. Yeah.
Okay. And to go along with what you said, I think, it shouldn't be easy, right? Like anything you want in life, you need to work for it. Right. Yeah. So I think I like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to students who want to break into the industry?
Is stay positive, stay positive and surround yourself with a great support system, and learn as much as you can. You will always be a student, there's a million yous, you will get a million yeses, you'll get a million no's, but you just have to have really tough skin, and fight for it. You have to want it, and put in the work, put in the time, and to train. Continue to train, learn as much as you can, all styles, don't be afraid. My number one thing is don't be afraid to be unique. And don't be afraid to be uncomfortable, because that's how you grow, is being uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like it. Have you seen any major shifts in the dance industry since you started teaching?
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course. Times are changing. So it's like, of course, a huge shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that dance is just not the same, but I think that it's going back to the way that it used to be. I feel like in a complete 360 where, now it's like you see when it comes to dance, I see a lot of, kids maybe twerking or in the smallest clothes at, 6 and 7 years old. And it's like, you're not going to wear that, and even the things that these kids are doing with their bodies are like insane. It's like, what a way to like move your body like that. But I don't think you're going to move like that in a job, like a contortionist, maybe for a Cirque du Soleil show, but I doubt you're going to move and put your bodies through all of that. So it's just now it's about how to stay fit and stay in shape, and then also, being aware of everything that is happening with your body and that's changing, and how to like stay active with it.
Gotcha. Okay. My wife and I were just talking about that on her podcast, or on her show, the podcast, because we're talking about like girls, the younger, right, girls doing moves that they shouldn't be doing, or how dance studios get a rep for having girls, she said, like not wearing tights, and just being sexual when they shouldn't be doing stuff like that. So
they shouldn't be doing that at a very young age.
I agree. Okay. So let's see, culture, trends, and authenticity. Hip hop culture is constantly evolving. How do you stay connected to its roots while adapting to new trends?
For one, it's foundation. Where it originated from. It's good to do your homework and research, because we have a lot of teachers that are teaching hip hop, and there's a difference from hip hop and there's a difference from commercial. So it's just, you have to know the foundation before you could say that you're a hip hop teacher. I don't fall directly in that category. I'm more commercial based hip hop, more industry, Yes, I try to incorporate like, old school grooves and where they originated from, like the Roger Rabbit and, a lot of those things, into my movement to make it more modern day. But it all comes from just knowing like where it originated from, and then also knowing the foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And what do you think about, here it is. What do you think about the TikTok dance era? Has it helped or hurt the dance world?
Man, it's helped some bank accounts. And then, but as far as like the industry, no, I just feel like me personally, this is my opinion on it. I haven't even downloaded it yet. And, it's paying some bills for some people. It's changing some lives. And I can't knock them for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's their hustle and their path. Then be it, but I just don't want to go that route. That's why I haven't downloaded it. I just don't see the art in that. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. And there are a lot of like amazing artists that are on there that are making a great living, that has put in the time, has trained to do what they're doing. And then there's artists that, it's a hobby for them. It's fun. And I can't knock them for changing their lives to do something and have fun and making money off of it. It's cool to see some of the trends that are going around. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool little TikTok dance, that my, 80-year-old grandmother can do, or my 3-year-old niece, so they're it's making some money. It's making some good money, I hear. So
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
I have pros and cons when it comes to that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we'll jump into the personal and philosophical category here.
Okay, cool.
What keeps you grounded in such a competitive and fast-paced industry?
Music and my family. Yeah, so that's how I stay grounded, is just like making sure that I'm surrounded by love and a good support system, which is my family. and my really close friends that I've been friends with for like over 20 years, I stay connected with them. And then just music. I love music. So I listen to music every day. I have certain playlists that gets me through different emotions. So for the most part, and then also teaching like keeps me grounded as well. And like this new generation of kids, like it's so inspiring to see like that they're falling in love with dance so early, so early on. So that's what keeps me pretty grounded.
Okay.
Sure.
So a caveat to that question, because you just mentioned something about certain playlist.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, is there like certain songs or genres that you listen before like different events? Like say if you're going to go teach or choreograph at Tremaine as opposed to going to prep for like Cirque, is there like different styles you listen to prep for
sure.
each event?
Yeah. For Tremaine, I try to keep everything, PG-13, of course, clean music, radio edit, and commercial. So, but I like to listen to like the old school like rap from like Missy Elliott to like Busta Rhymes or Jay-Z. Or even when it comes to pop, I'll listen to like, Britney Spears or the old Pink. Or I try to like incorporate some of those artists because these kids they have no idea,
To them.
They don't know, they have no idea who they are. Like I had my minis, for my minis this season, their ages like 5 to 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I was teaching them crisscross jump. They had no idea who crisscross was, and so I would ask them. I was like, "So, do you guys know who this artist is?" They're like, "No." I think one kid was like, "Justin Bieber," and I was like, "Justin Bieber?" I was like, "No." And then he was like, and then another little kid was like, "Is it you?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "It's not me." I was like, "I wish it was me because I'll have some residuals coming in." But yeah, I taught them to crisscross jump this season, cool. And I did like Michael Jackson Beat It. So it was cool, to like school these kids on some old school. The parents were like loving, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't heard this in decades."
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's considered oldies to them now.
Yeah, for sure.
Times has changed. Okay, looking back, what moment are you most proud of?
Man, teaching on Tremaine Convention is was one of my biggest goals. I checked off a lot of goals this past few years, which was nice. I've always set myself up to like have like 3 to 5 or 5 to 10 year like goal. Mm-hmm. So I would say Tremaine was one of them. I remember contacting Tremaine back in like the Instagram back in like 2017 and was like to submit my work, you know, as a teacher. And I got left on red. I was like, wow, they opened my message, didn't reply.
Yeah.
So then I moved on, but that's one of my biggest, definitely one of my biggest accomplishments is teaching on Tremaine. Also, I've always wanted to do a Vegas residency, as a dancer or as a choreographer.
Yeah.
So, recently I booked New Kids on the Block, and I'm from Vegas. So what other way is to be in a Vegas show for one of the first pop stars, like one of the pop groups that like boy bands ever, So that was a huge accomplishment for me too, because I was pretty much on the verge of like retiring, as a dancer. Wow. I took a step back. It's been like maybe like almost 2 years now that I didn't perform. I just focused on, creating and teaching and educating. So that was another accomplishment for me as well as dancing for New Kids on the Block.
That's sweet, man. So it happened again, perfect timing, man.
Yeah, timing.
On the verge of retirement, and then it's just, I wouldn't say it falls on your lap because you work hard, but it came like to you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I manifested that too. I was like, there's something missing from my life. Like maybe 2 weeks prior, before I even got the call for it, I was talking to a friend of mine back in Vegas, and I was like, yeah, something's missing. Like, I'm having a great time doing what I love, but I was like, there's something missing. I was like, I think I want to go back on stage for a little bit longer. I was like, I still feel like I could give what I was given at 20 years old. You know what I mean? So I was like, I think that's what's missing. I want to perform again. And then next, like 2 weeks later, I get a phone call, to do
crazy.
New Kids on the Block. I was like, oh, this is dope. Let's go.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that selection as well. Okay, so what's one piece of advice that you'd give to your younger self?
To my younger self is stay humble, like stay humble, because at any second, everything can just be taken away from you, and don't take anything for granted. Like, just stay connected and continue to network, but just stay humble. I was like, you don't have to be this cocky, arrogant, artist, like, because there's a million you out there, and there's a lot of people that couldn't experience what you could experience, so just don't take it for granted, and just live life. You have to live life to the fullest. So that's what I would say to my younger self, is like, you did it, man. You did it. You put in the work, you hustled, and now you're there to like share it with the next generation.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We've jumped into the last set of questions here. They're fun questions.
All right,
quick
fire.
What's been your favorite artist to who's been your favorite artist to choreograph for?
My favorite artist to choreograph for, I would say Lex, which is pretty much an artist that I got to mold into who she is today. I started working with this artist. She's a pop songwriter, producer. She does everything. Like, she's a singer, dancer. I got a chance to mold her when she was like 15 years old. Now she's like, I've been working with her for maybe about 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
I met her through a friend of mine in Vegas, and she was about 15. I used to give her private lessons in her home, in this small little hot studio that her parents built for her. I mean, it was like the size of a shoebox.
Oh, wow.
And so that she was my favorite artist, because not only was she an artist, we became best friends. Like, because I knew her since she was like 15 to now she's like a grown woman. Yeah. She never even danced in heels before. She never really did like commercial based movement, or, I pretty much like helped her become the woman who she is today, because she didn't know how to move her hips, and she never wore heels. So I would say Lex. Her name is Lex. You can look her up. Lexi Bradford. That's her name. She's a songwriter, singer, dancer.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a cool little story there.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your go-to hype song before any show?
My go-to hype song. Man. Oh, I have a few actually.
Okay.
Let's go. When it comes to pop music, I would say Britney Spears. It's called Britney Spears Get Back. That's a dope song that I like when I'm like in my pop zone. And then like for like my rap, I would go with like Jay-Z, Tom Ford.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom Ford is a good one. I like Busta Rhymes. I would say like Busta Rhymes, like Give Me Some Mo, or like Make It Hurt was a dope one. Yeah.
Some throwbacks.
Yeah, some throwbacks. I'm a throwback guy. Even like Missy Elliott, like Get Your Freak On. Dude. You know what I mean?
Beat
is
like
iconic,
classic,
man.
Dude.
Iconic.
Killed it.
Yeah.
I'll play that song back to back just because of the beat itself, man. I mean, Missy killed it, but that beat,
just the instrumental is dope itself.
Man. That thing is something else, man. Timbaland killed it on that. Okay, what's the worst dance injury you've had?
Wow, worst dance injury was Man, I had a herniated bulging disc, and it was C4, C5. I actually got surgery done. I had a fusion done, so I have a metal plate in my neck. Actually, it was from Cirque du Soleil. It was like just over time. It was wear and tear. I was a part of that show Michael Jackson won for about 7 years. I was in the show, and I had just some wear and tear with the movement. The wig that I wore was pretty heavy. I had dreadlocks. All the artists in the show, we wore like crazy, like authentic kind of like human wigs. And so I had dreadlocks, which was heavy. So it was just a lot of wear and tear on my neck. So I got bulging discs and got a fusion done. So yeah, I'm dealing with a big injury. They pretty much like did the surgery and they cut like through the front. Yeah, it was crazy.
What was the recovery time on that?
I was out for about 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long ago was that?
That was 2019. It was like right before pandemic.
Okay.
I recovered literally like a month before. It was the end of 2019 going into 2020.
Okay.
And then I recovered like right before pandemic around like February 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does that injury limit you in any kind of way?
Yeah, I definitely lost a lot of range of motion.
Okay.
In my neck. It's not the same anymore, but I still, just being an artist is like I'm gonna push through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Gotcha.
we get stubborn, so we want to push through an injury or push through something. So
Hell yeah.
but yeah, I definitely lost a lot of range of motion in my neck, but I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool. We've reached the last question here. If you weren't a dancer, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't a dancer, what would I be doing? Honestly, I think I would be a therapist. Like, I would want to help the youth with like mental health. I think that plays a huge part in like our lives. And my mom's a social worker.
Okay.
She has her master's in like social work and like psychology. So
it.
she's like my mother and my therapist at the same time, But I've always been intrigued with like psychology and how the brain works and how the mind works, And then just mental health is just key to life, and I feel like we don't have enough support out there. So that would be something that I would want to get into for sure.
Yeah. Is that something you see like maybe later on down the road maybe for you?
Yeah, with dance I think it could help, even with just being an artist. Maybe some of these conventions or companies dance, they could also offer that as well, like maybe through that weekend of classes, because it's intense. These kids have to learn a lot of routines, and then they have to compete, and I'm sure that's a lot mentally. So it'd be awesome if they had that type of support, if someone needed it during that weekend. Could be cool.
I agree.
Like mental health sessions.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And you could even translate that to, because I think you could translate even that to veterans and stuff like that too. Like any mental health sessions or organizations or things like that would benefit people like that too. But
yeah, for sure.
No, that would be cool. A therapist is intriguing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that was my last question. So now's your chance to, if you want to talk about anything else, you could do your shout outs. If you want to plug anything in or mention anything we didn't talk about, it's open mic for you.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out actually. I want to give a shout out to Evangeline Biscara Golda, which is the director of Culture Shock Las Vegas. She gave me a home for dance, and I thank her, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you, Vanjie, and for the company Culture Shock Las Vegas. Yeah. And then also shout out to my amazing support system, which is my family. I would not be here today if it wasn't for my family supporting me in this crazy world. And with through the arts, it's not easy being an artist, and just having you guys there has been like key to everything. So thank you And thank you for bringing me on, man. This is like awesome. Yeah,
it's my pleasure. Yeah, it was fun having you on.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let the audience and the followers know where they can follow you on social media.
So my social media, you can follow me at Jawkeen. That's spelled JAWKEEN. So you'll see all my updates when I teach, where if I'm in your city, or if I'm having a class, or doing some amazing things, and you can see some of my work as well. So just follow me. Yes, let's go.
Hell yeah, cool. And I'll also attach your tags on the description below.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So yeah, there you guys have it. You guys heard from the man himself. Impressive work, impressive resume, and he's not done yet. So
just getting started. Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.